channel to see like the YouTube chat log or whatever?
Yeah, it should be there. Just give it like a minute or two, and then it should show up.
Yeah, sounds good.
From this day forth, you put your faith in me. Expecto Patronum! From this day forth, you put your faith in me. Expecto Patronum!
All right. I think we're almost ready to get started here. All right, stream can hear you guys now. There we go.
Oh no.
Yeah, oh god.
So don't say what I was already saying.
Yeah. All right there, honky.
We'll talk about where we put the bodies some other time. I mean, hello, internet.
Look. Just don't check my credit card statement.
Excuse me.
Gesundheit. Come on, Fantasy Grounds, you can do it.
You can do it.
So you're running it on the laptop again, or?
Me?
Finally able to, I was finally able to crack open my desktop, and
It's worse.
A lot worse.
Oh, that sucks.
Put it this way: it was top of the line like 20 years ago.
Oh, so it's like a Packard Bell green screen.
Oh no, it was a custom built. Like it was a $10,000 computer back in the day.
Now it's just a sack of potatoes.
Yeah, like it has DDR2 RAM.
So basically a cell phone is stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Boom, 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 boom. And he's here. All right. So there's two things we got to go through first before we get to her.
Okay.
So first of all, I have put, like I mentioned, every single thing into two pictures. This is everything you guys have learned. And here comes the second one. So that should be everything, images and story-wise, of everything that we've run
Oh
into.
wow, yeah, that's pretty comprehensive. Yeah, you got the leaders there, Zeppelin, the Eye.
You got,
Even got a map of
yep, and
the
Paladin
airship.
Keurig is there.
Yep.
On the second one, on Recap 1, this is everything you guys learned studying.
All right. I need to bring that up again.
I can share it.
Thing for me. Oh, okay. There we go.
The book, the different thing.
So, any questions on anything so far? Like, do you not recognize certain things? Like, so Jack, if you're looking for your Yanti background, it's the white page on the top row in the middle.
Yep, I saw it. I'm just skimming the rest of her there to make sure everything's familiar.
Maps. Boodoop. Fucker.
I'm getting the texts. Who's the text from? That's a weird one.
Yeah, all looks
Get map in
familiar.
the bottom right.
There we go. What's up?
Bottom right, is it the airship map?
Oh, on the other one? Yes. Yes, it
Yeah.
is. And if we ever have to use it again, which we probably will, if you zoom in on that map, the tokens are on it.
D.
At least they should be. I put them on, but if I have multiple maps where I'm setting up tokens, a lot of the times it doesn't let me. Okay, so now that you guys got those, also, if you take a look into images, you'll notice that everything is at your guys' disposal that you've run into. And yeah, we're just going to go right back into the engine room where we left off.
All right, sounds good.
All right, bam and bam. Okay, so just as a conventional warm-up,
I forgot.
what's that?
God, this place looks like a fucking Chrono Trigger map.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so just as a heads up, so you got Pretty Bird, Western, and Jaladri are all sitting there.
Yep.
You can see the unknown techie guy who's working on the computer trying to open up the door behind you. You just got finished kicking a scarecrow in the face. And your teammates have disappeared into the ether. So we'll act like they're not here.
I believe I fried the scarecrow from the inside out with my witch bolt spell or something.
I think so.
Yeah.
All right. So you take a look around. You notice that there's a lot of components and stuff up on the walls. It's a very tech-heavy area. Out in the main hallway where Pretty Bird is, you can kind of see like a large machine that seems to be part of a boiler. To the left, you see a destroyed door, and up at the top, there is the door the guy's trying to open.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, let's start out with a little bit of role play. The guy who's working on the computer looks back. This should only take a moment. Bear with me. And as you guys look around to each other and kind of nod, you can kind of see the sprinkler system is active in here, so it's kind of like rain is going on you at all times.
Hey, being moist. My mushroom yummy. Hey, Westra.
Yeah.
Real quick question for you. Any idea what happened to the other guys?
They were here a
like,
minute ago.
Batman away, or like is this a scarecrow thing?
I don't
Worried.
know.
Worried.
We should be careful though. Hopefully they just went back the other way to see if anything was following us.
Hopefully, I'm going to attempt to perceive if I can see where they went Batmaning.
Okay. You don't know exactly where they went, but something tells you that an unseen force, kind of a dickish force, has kind of kept them off the chessboard, so to speak.
Oh. We're involved with like gods and shit. There's a trickster god involved with this too.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm not surprised. I mean, we did watch two goddesses basically fight to the death a few days ago.
Oh shit! I can't believe I fucking promised to get her son back. Oh, God, why didn't you stop me?
Because I was busy, trying not to get blown up by the dragon that was attacking the ship.
Fair enough, but
Or, or it wasn't a dragon, it was,
this is
there was
now an
some
us problem.
flying monster. I
Definitely
forget
an
what it
us
was.
problem.
Yeah.
That was the one with like what the 3 monsters and the Marilith and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Right on. So as you guys are kind of just chilling out, chatting amongst yourselves, you can kind of see the guy furiously typing on a keyboard, swiping key cards, pulling levers and like knobs everywhere as he's darting back left to right from each computer screen to try to open the door. And then he's like, Eureka! And he slams down on a big red button and you hear the door behind you open.
I thought it was a big red button.
So is it like a shutter door like you'd find in a warehouse or something from the size of it?
Yeah, so now this area is open.
All right. What have we here?
I'm gonna uncover my eye and look down there.
So as you guys look down, you can see that it's actually one of the giant engines, combustible engines of the machine itself that's keeping this entire floating area above airborne. So through your studies, Jack, you're able to realize that this thing is operated by black powder and echo lilies as a fuel source through your studies. And you can tell that the machine is not doing well, and it seems to be banging and chopping and all this kind of stuff. So, yeah.
Oh, that's not good.
I'm good.
I'm gonna look over to the tech guy. Can you fix that?
He kind of walks up, and he's like, "One moment," and he goes up to here. He starts to peer in. Pretty Bird's gonna follow you up. And he just takes a step in and he just looks through and he looks at the damage from this. He says, yes, I think I have the tools. So he goes over here. He pops open like some kind of like an open locker system with a bunch of tools. And then he just hauls ass back and he's like, all right, are we ready?
Maybe
Pret?
we should send Pretty Bird in first in case there's more scarecrows.
Right
Just
on.
gonna tell Pretty Bird to help the mechanic. I'll go in first.
Okay. I'll watch your back.
In chess, the pawns move first. All right. So as soon as you...
chess, the pawns aren't poisonous.
Exactly. All right, so Jaladri, you get onto the interior side. I need you to roll a perception check.
Yeah, that's my bag.
Yep.
Oh. See this shit.
Okay, so as you're looking around, you kind of notice that off to the left and right-hand side, the room actually does keep going. And I will show it to you.
And yeah, just I was gonna say before, for the time being, I'm leaving my eye uncovered until more people. What we have right now, like if we have to go back out into public or whatever, I'm gonna cover it back up. But I don't care about the mechanic.
Okay, so you want to keep
Right, yeah,
you want to keep it hidden is basically what you want to do.
From like everyone except for our current group. Right now, I want my full combat abilities.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So like mechanic, he's trustworthy. If not, I'm bigger than he is.
Okay.
If he's not trustworthy, we're straight up all going to die a horrible death when this thing falls out of the sky.
So take a look at the map now, guys. The entire engine room is open now, so you can see everything.
Yep.
And it's a massive engine. Massive. Absolutely massive. And you can kind of see like the turbine is starting to slow and then speed up, slow and speed up. You can kind of see smoke coming from the back end of the room.
God.
And what you see, Jaladri, is through the right and left hand side, like over here and over here. There's many like blown out holes in the wall. You can kind of see damage has come into this room from other parts of the ship, but it doesn't seem to be like any smoke or anything coming from them. And at the back end of the room, it's just a giant, large faceplate of a wall. Roll initiative.
Dun.
Boy. I think I'm doing this right. Yes.
Perfect initiative for a turtle.
Okay, I need you to roll a reflex save there, bruh.
Does he have to?
Yep.
Ooh. Which one's reflex?
So, I guess it's just a regular dex save now. So it'd be the numbers on the right part of your character sheet saves, and it'd be the dex one.
Okay,
Alright, as you step into the room from above you, you hear a clatter, a clanking, a banging noise above you, and as you look up, let me make sure I can do this properly. Bam. Do you see the monster in front of you?
ooh. Is it actually what it says it is?
Yes.
Joker.
So you walk in, and then as you look above you, there's this monstrosity attached to the ceiling. A tendril comes down and grabs you around the waist and starts to lift you up in the air. You are currently 2 feet in the air, dangling.
Ow, this is a strong choker.
Okay, just let me get its character sheet up here. Okay, there we go. And we'll put it at the finale. Okay, so first up is going to be Westra. You're up.
Well, it's holding. What does it look like exactly?
So let me see if I can show it to you. No, it won't let me for some reason. If you look up if I go to campaign, NPC, choker, bam. No, it won't let me do it. That sucks. But imagine, I'll see if I can describe it to you. So imagine a man, very skinny and lanky. Arms are double jointed, one at the wrist, one at the elbow, so it almost walks around like a spider. And as it comes down and opens up its palms of its hands, its teeth and a mouth on each arm. One that's got Jaladri around the stomach, lifting him up in the air, and the other is just free floating. His face almost looks like an orc's face with a beak.
Okay.
All right, so from where you are, you can't see it, but you see the tendril that's coming down, grabbing onto Jaladri.
Okay. He's only a couple feet off the ground right now?
Yeah, he's about 2 feet off the ground.
Okay. Since I can't really see what's got him there, and it's just kind of one of them situations where it's like, I don't really know what's going on. I want to kind of, like, if I move, like, here by the door, would I be able to see?
You should be able to.
Okay.
So as you look up, you see this, like, if you zoom in on the token, you can see what it looks like really well.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that doesn't look friendly. That is getting some sort of awful magic to the face.
Yeah,
What shall I
exactly.
do? Yeah. See, if she could only see the thing, it's like I want to know what that is
Murderize it.
before I do anything.
Yeah, exactly. Bloop. All right, so you have partial move, you have an action,
Yep,
and a bonus.
and a bonus. Oh, okay.
Yeah, everybody gets a bonus.
Spider-Man thing, like everybody gets one.
8.
Well, if you have a bonus action that your character can do.
Well, I don't like that thing holding my big turtle buddy, so it's getting an Eldritch Blast to the face. No, it's not.
So you take a shot, it sees it coming, and it kind of like you notice up on the ceiling there's a lot of pipes that are around. It kind of shimmies behind one of the pipes and drags the whole party a little bit this way.
Okay.
So it just ricochets until eventually it pizzles out in the water that's coming off of the ceiling. All right, so you have you can complete your move and a bonus if you have it.
All right. So I moved 15, so I get another 15. So it's just gonna be kind of move up here, and as I move, she's just gonna kind of say, "Shit, pretty, help."
Very good. All right, next on the agenda is Pretty. Pretty comes up, looks around, identifies it, and takes a fucking crack shot at it. This thing's fucking trying to hurt his friend. He's fucking sick of this shit. Pretty Bird's like feeling roid ragey.
Treats are yours. Help me out.
Yeah, exactly. So it's going to go ahead and it's going to take a pop shot with its bow.
Okay.
And you just see the arrow kind of tink off the cover it's hiding behind, and it falls on the floor next to you. Joladri, you can kind of see it as it goes. All right, he's going to finish his movement by gaining cover on this side and holding position. All right, Bri, you're up.
Okay. Can I cast a spell?
You are currently. Hold on. Sorry. I should have been on this from the beginning.
You knew I was going to ask that, yeah.
You are currently grappled.
That's the exact sound effect that being grappled sounds.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so you can't cast any spells or anything. You must first break the grapple. Unless it's verbal component only. If there's any somatics, you won't be able to cast it.
Okay,
So it currently has you more like underneath the arms, and you can tell this thing is struggling to hold you up.
I was about to say, like, this thing has to be strong. Like, I am fucking heavy.
Yeah.
Well, there is. I can do this. Activate symbiotic entity. So, when I deal my Halo of Spores damage, so, when a creature I can see moves into a space within 10 feet of me or starts its turn there, I use my reaction to deal it 2d4 necrotic damage.
Okay, let's start with that because his arm is around you. But we need to know. Yeah, that's just an ability you can active. It's not a spell or anything, right?
It's just a druid action effect.
Perfect. So yeah, that will work. So go ahead and roll your damage. Does it have a save at all?
It does, but it doesn't activate until his turn starts.
Okay, gotcha. All right, Gibber. So now
I guess
you grab. So in the actions, you grab the damage from the spell and you just drop it right on the token.
Oh yeah, I know, but it won't it doesn't activate until he starts his turn.
Oh, so it just kind of soaks into his skin on the first part, and then it all activates on his turn.
Oh, no, I read it wrong. So, yeah, it starts its turn, or yeah, or it moves within a space within 10 feet of me. So I'm not sure if that counts. Like,
You're grappled, so it's in contact with you. So I consider that a green light. So you gain the ability to channel magic into your spores. As an action, you can spend a use of your wild shape feature to awaken those spores rather than transforming. Okay, so you should have got 4 temporary HP, so you can mark that on your character.
temporary HP from our last one.
Okay, so just it doesn't go above 5 for now. So just put it at 5. When you deal your Halo Spores damage and your die roll the second time, add it to your total. Your melee weapon or attack gets 1d6 necrotic damage. These benefits last for 10 minutes. Cool. Right on. All right, so that's your action.
And then...
So you currently can't move, but if you have a bonus, feel free on taking it.
This is a bonus again?
So it would be a spell when you read it and it says duration, it would be bonus action. I don't know if you have any, but it would say in your abilities.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna say that I struggle just because I want this to keep moving.
Okay.
I don't think I can really do much with a bonus action at the moment, except struggle. I will look through my spells and see if I can find one for next turn.
Very good. All right. Next is going to be the choker. So activate your ability there, Bri. So roll the DC on him first, and then if it works, I'm sure it'll do its thing.
How do I...
So it should automatically add the dice necessary for your fog of whatever ability. So you'd have to hit him with the DC save first to see if it hits, and then the damage. Same as a weapon attack.
That's how I open it. How do I...
Let me have a look here. Okay, so you can't have more than 5 temporary HP at the moment. I switched that for you. So Halo of Spores. So if you go down to the bottom and display changes to action. So
perfect, thank you.
And then the first one would be the dice roll for the con DC save 10. And then if it works and you roll the necrotic damage on him, it should add those 2d4 automatically. And if it doesn't, we'll add it later.
Okay, let's try this.
Oh, that's a... There you go. So you DC save 13 versus DC save 10. All right, so it's saved. So that means it negated that. So what does it say that does if you missed? Anything? So action, Halo of Spores. Surrounding invisible, when a creature can see the action, deal one the creature unless it succeeds on the Constitution save the necrotic damage. Nope, just fails. Alright, cool. So nothing happens. So unfortunately, whenever you go to kind of give yourself a little shake and you can kind of see like particleized green dots start to show up on your skin and it starts to creep onto the choker's arm. And you can see that the choker is just kind of not really paying attention to it. It is there, but it's just not doing anything to him as he fucks around. All right, so first thing he's going to do is he's going to try... Sorry?
Real quick, one thing that does happen from symbiotic entity is my weapon attacks, so in this case my hands, or bite will deal an extra necrotic damage.
Yes, that is
but
true.
I don't get to do that until I attack.
Exactly.
But yeah, go for it.
All right.
Sorry,
So what
sorry.
he ends
I'm
up
trying to get all this shit.
Oh, it's going to take this is why I wanted to have this session to get us all back in the game.
Yep.
So the choker is going to try to throw you. So I need you to roll an opposing strength check, so a strength save. Okay, so he tries to throw you, and he just kind of winds up and throws you, tries to throw you into the wall, but he only throws you a few feet. So now you are not grappled, you are prone.
Hey.
Okay.
Bitch!
Yeah, he was not happy with that. All right, so I'm going to take grappled off you. Bam.
I think I'd rather be prone than grappled.
Hey, what's up, Honky?
What up, man?
You getting in on this, or are you doing family stuff?
I'm doing family stuff right now. I just popped in to see what was going on.
We're getting the boiler room scene finished up.
Nice.
So they walked into the engine
That
room
bad
after opening the door in a choker. The thing that you and Freckled fought was the thing on the other side of the door waiting for you.
Oh, that's great.
So as soon as Jaladri, the turtle, walked in, it roped him around the neck and pulled him up into the air.
Sorry, bro. I was trying to beat it up.
Me around the waist.
Oh, you know what I mean. But
I do know what you mean, but I can retract my head. So
that's what I
go for my neck.
That's. I thought you could retract all your limbs, so I just expected you to just do that to get out of his grip. That's what I expected.
But you
to
said
do.
he grabbed me around the waist, so I was like, shit, I can't retract that.
Waist under the arms is what I said.
Oh yeah, but like that's still like solid shell.
Under the arm.
Like
That's
at
hot.
the best, I might be able to slip through.
Gotcha. All right.
Oh, look, Jack's with Cam. What's up, Jack?
Yeah, everybody's here.
Yep.
Yeah, I can actually physically see Jack. He's eating something.
Yeah, exactly.
Nom, nom.
Cookies. Oh yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to be playing for a while there, Honky. So if you get freed up, let us know.
Yeah, I'll probably be free up in about an hour or so.
Cool. Sounds good, man. If we're still playing, come hit us up.
All right, man.
All right, so the next thing he's going to do is he's going to try to, with his attack action he's already used, so now he's going to use his movement and he's going to just scuttle across the ceiling over in this direction. All right, Westra, you're up.
Oh, he ain't going nowhere. Can I see it from here?
Yep, full view.
All right. He's getting a chill touch.
All right, so you extend your hand and this like bolt of ice comes out that just kind of spirals towards it, and then it smashes on the ceiling, and unfortunately it does not hit. This thing's a wily motherfucker.
No kidding.
So it's kind of moving kind of like you would see like aliens move, where they're just like, they're not like a constant motion, it's more like extreme bursts of high speed.
Yeah. Well, since it seems to be running away, I'm gonna kind of head over here and basically check on Jaladri.
There you go. So I will allow a moment of repos. Feel free on putting some dialogue in this, if you wish.
You okay, Jaladri?
Oh my god, help me up! I can't get off my back.
There you go. I'll give you.
Turtle and I can't get up.
So as Wester kind of walks up to Jaladri saying, "Oh, are you okay, bud?" You can kind of see like a smirk on Westra's face, kind of like she's giggling. She thinks it's funny.
It kind of
Like
is.
kind of rolling back and forth. Like,
Yeah. Right on. So Westra helps you to your feet, kind of dusts you off.
Thank you,
wait.
Westra.
Whoa, hold on a minute. I don't want to touch him with my real hands. He's that gross turtle guy.
Oh, true.
I mean, he's my friend and he's cool people,
That's a
but
good
he's
point.
really gross and covered in like all this like gross shit right now.
Yeah.
Right on. So as your guys are over there, you can kind of look over both at the same time towards Pretty Bird, and he just takes a step out and says honk and takes a firing shot. He's going to use his he's he's going to use his he's going to use his misbound step. And just let me get his character sheet out here for a second. There it is. So, using one of his he's got a number of uses equal to his proficiency bonus, and this ability is called Wails from the Grave, Whispering Dead. So he's able to use his bonus action to give himself a sneak attack in broad daylight.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, so this is going to be a critical hit or a
amazing
sneak attack. Yep, he's boss. Like, you guys make fun of him. He's probably one of the strongest third level characters I've ever made. So
we have to make fun of him.
Oh yeah. All right, so he takes a shot.
Make fun of him.
Oh, everybody else does. So his refined choker hit. So he goes ahead and he's going to group summary actions. This is going to be on sneak attack, and he's going to fire off a bolt. So you can kind of see him do a little bit of a barrel roll. He makes a little honk in his little voice, and you can kind of see feathers fly up in the air. Boom! Just fucking takes a shot, and it just nails it right on the shoulder, kind of knocking it down. And whenever the arrow hits, he knocks his head off the ceiling, and he falls to the ground. Oh, speaking of which, I got to take the downside off of this guy. He's got a bunch of other shit on him from the last time the other people fought. Hold on. He is not unconscious, and he is not prone. There we go. Bam. All right. So, as he hits the ground, you can kind of hear like a blood-curdling little lizard squeal. And as the room goes back to normal, you can also see that the lights kick on and the fire suppression system goes off.
So now we got... So the water stuff, like, stopped?
Yeah. And you can kind of hear that in the background as gears are turning. Jaladri and Westra, I need you both to make a history check. Is it a history check? No, it's an investigation, sorry. All right, so Westra, from what you're able to discern is that there's some working connection between this area and another part of the ship. Obviously, it can be controlled from several other locations from around the ship. But Jaladri, you're able to discern that those clicking mechanisms matched up with the water turning off. You sense you might have backup soon. All right, so that is West.
Backup,
power
or backup.
Like somebody is trying to fix it from a remote location, and if that is true, then maybe there might be help on the way. So you can kind of like, oh shit, they're starting to fix stuff. Oh, hopefully they send somebody to help us out on this.
Right.
All right. Next is so that was Pretty Bird. So the next is Jaladri. You're up next. Hold on. Westra, Steve, not Eagle, not Boar, not Giant Scorpion, Jaladri. Okay, there you go.
Giant Scorpion, what?
Yeah, let's not speak of anything.
All right.
Okay, so that'll have to be fixed at the nearest location. Okay, Jaladri, you're moving up. So this thing is on the ground. You kind of hop over mechanisms to get there, and you just hit the ground with a thundering force. What are you wielding currently? Anything in your hands?
I have a shield in one hand and just like my claws.
There you go. As you hop over Westra, you just see this big bumbling turtle just fucking vault over some big piece of machinery. And as he jumps through, the lights start reflecting off of his shield and sword in kind of like bright distillic colors because of the wet rainwater that has been attached to it. And you just see him going into melee combat.
Nice.
As I get there, I'm gonna force my symbiote in my hand, and I'm beating the shit out of this thing with some poison punches.
There you go.
Neat.
Go ahead and make an attack. Oh, that seems like a hit. Alright, so you come in with your claws on a hit. So now let's see what kind of a damage it is. So you kind of do a downward rake across this guy's chest. Right on.
Should have more to it.
So, what I want you to do is, we're going to skip it this time, but next time when you go to your actions page, is symbiotic entity? What was the ability you activated? It was your, to do,
Both.
yeah, but the Halo with Spores is the original spell, but what was the ability you used on that? It was one of your
symbiotic entity.
Symbiotic entity.
You gain 12 temporary hit points.
Okay, so right before you roll the damage on Halo of Spores next time, make sure to hit the effect damage 1d6 necrotic with it. Okay? Yeah, so you would, yeah, so, but you're not gonna, so all I want you to do now is just hit him again and I'll adjust it. So this should roll both dice. So now you roll your damage, your 1d4 necrotic for Halo with Spores, and both should happen.
So roll
the damage dice on the choker again. So the Halo with Spores dropped. Yeah, see, it added on the extra d6.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so all you have to do is whenever you activate symbiotic entity, you have to click the person running, and then it'll be active from there on. So you come down with this thing, it was... what's that?
Okay, cool.
All good?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. Yeah. So as you come down, you come across with this rake, and you can actually see the tips of your claws protruding from its back as you rake down, and you just cut like 4... How many fingers would you have?
I think turtles have 3 fingers.
3 fingers? So you can see 3 big, large gashes in this thing, and it fucking hits the floor in a dying husk. Either way, your damage was enough to kill it. Yeah. So as it hits the floor, you can kind of see it start to like fold in on itself as if it was hollow. You can kind of see the inner workings of the animal dripping from in between the claw marks, and it hits the floor. Westra, I need you to roll a perception check.
Hey. Right here.
Okay, so as you're looking around, you can kind of see that Geladri took that shit to school. Just kind of like double drop kick slash faced it right to hell.
Yeah.
And you kind of look over and you can see him kind of smiling, facing away from you. But you actually are able to notice something a little strange.
What on earth is that?
From the sides of the room, you guys see the rogue duo drones from the first of the campaign, the mind control guys that walk around on little tinsers. And they fucking hightail it, one in each direction, and disappear into the woodworkings of the interior holes that were described earlier. They just run off and disappear into the woodworks.
No time for us to react or nothing, eh?
Nope. You just see them scurry. Like, you basically look over, you see one of them, you see the other one, they notice you, and they're fucking gone. Alright, so that's the end of combat.
Great. There's even more of those mind control things running around.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. Didn't they explode last time? We got this damage here.
They did. That's right.
Westra, roll me a history check.
Sure.
Oh, fucking nat 20. So you remember from your previous experience from them that their original behavior is to drill into the back of your neck and take your mind over. Only when you're fucking with your interior components do they gotta self-destruct.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. They won't explode, but I don't like that they're down here.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna like take a kind of paranoid glance at the engineer and see if I can like see the back of his neck at all.
So he's like fucking knees chattering, arms are quaky, mom spaghetti back here. And he fucking slowly walks in humbled with his hands crossed and feel like, okay, is the coast clear?
I think so. I'm gonna reach down and see if I can find any mushrooms on this choker.
Alright, so I need you to roll a D100. So there is a D100 now. It's the final D10 with the double zeros. It automatically makes it a D100, so you don't have to right click or anything. Okay, leave that with me for now, and you are going to find in the carcass. Okay, I need to open up your inventory so I can drop it in there. So if you'll look at your inventory, somewhere in that, I will put bam, a hand axe. So the hand axe you kind of drew from inside the monster, but you can also see that hand axe, there's a couple of more things in there. It looks like to be decayed flesh and scuffed leather. So you put two and two together and you kind of realize that this guy ate the first workers that were here.
Lovely.
I'm gonna quickly close the body up before the mechanic notices and be like, yeah, no, we're all good in here. We're good.
Yeah.
Right. Right on.
I would like to take a look at the ceiling in the room to see if there's any more of those in here before we assume that we're safe.
Very good. I'm not going to make you roll for it, but as you look around, you can kind of see that there's scuff marks all over this room, like along the ceiling. So you think this thing has been around the block in this room for quite a while.
Okay.
Through the holes on the left and the right hand side where the mechanical doodads disappeared into, it's not big enough for a human person, but just barely big enough for them. And as you look in, you can see scuff marks coming from those holes all the way to the machine, up the machine, all over the parts of the blade. You can see these things have been walking around this room for a while too.
Oh, fantastic. They just ran off into those little teeny tiny holes, so we can't even see where they went to.
Exactly.
Like this thing is kind of fucked up a bit, right?
Oh yeah, it's hurting.
Is there any debris or anything kicking around?
You can see like not so much debris from the engine itself. It looks to be more like indented the engine. Like all of the debris would be inside the machine. But around the outside, you can kind of see just like a millimeter of water on top of a floor covered in scratches.
Okay. Want to help me close these holes? Just gonna try and hammer them closed.
All right, I need you to make a reflex check.
Rather not. Reflex, dexterity, reflexes of an otter with fucking Parkinson's.
All right, I need you to take one damage.
You just got like a face full of hot steam or something.
What time's that? What just happened?
We're still here. Can you still hear me?
I can.
Yeah.
I can't.
Did it
No,
just
I
cut out
just
for a
can't
sec or
figure out how to
something?
remove a temporary hit point.
Oh, you
Well,
just.
I accidentally clicked on something and my character sheet went away.
Oh, okay. You can just open it back up by going to the right under player and then character and then grab your character sheet from there.
There we go. I got it. How do I remove hit points?
So you add 1 to the wound, but you have to subtract your temporary first. So your temporary 5 HP would go to 4.
Understand how to. Oh, I see.
Yeah, right at the bottom of
Yeah.
the main page.
Fucking cursor. And the thing, like, I kept clicking on it. I was like, why aren't you changing? There we go.
All right. So, as you go to like sort of put up your hands up on the ceilings to try to see if you can, or up on the wall to try to see if you can crush the metal to kind of block it, you feel a rumbling on your chest. And as you go to reach for one of it, you can kind of see this entity emerge from Jaladri's chest and kind of backflip kicks you in the bottom of the chin and sets you back 5 feet. Turns out, when you look to your side, you notice the flower that was on your side is no longer there. And this man shows up.
Have that back now.
So he was the flower. And I've been waiting for this for 3 months to tell you this. He's been following you the entire time, and he's been on your person at all times. He knows everything. So as you come down, you kind of get stumbled back a little bit, and he goes, well, I guess I'll just have to finish it myself. You have 1 reaction each. And you see him pull out a hand grenade, pull the pin, and get ready to throw it. You each have 1 reaction.
Can I use like an action for that?
Yep, so it'd be like you.
First of all, when he starts his action, I want to use symbiotic entity because he's within 10 feet of me.
Okay, yeah, we can probably do that. I don't currently have a token for him. I wish I could have a token for him. I had to get this picture from the
Crazy.
races.
He was just sitting there.
Yeah, so yeah, it's just fun. Yeah, so when you go ahead and just roll the dice in the left-hand side there for me, Bri. Okay, let's do a regular D20 to see if it works. It fucking works. Look at that. Bam. So you hit him with it. And as he pulls the pin on the grenade, you can kind of see him wreathing in pain as this like light green mist starts to work his way up from his like the side of the side of him all the way up into his face. And the clear eyes that he once had, like he had no pupils or discerning look to him, you can kind of see the green vapor start to mix into one of his eyes. All right, Jack, your 1 reaction.
What's the status of that grenade right now?
Pin pulled.
Pin is pulled on the grenade.
Yeah, so you have you can move up and do something if you, or no, you have line of sight with him from where you are.
Yeah. Oh god.
Let's see here. From that too, right?
You already hit the dude, so that doesn't that won't work then.
That's the damage from hitting him.
Yep. And Jack, you get your 1.
Yeah. I don't like that grenade at all.
Reason?
Well, at this point, with how quick everything happened, I think it would be more in character to just kind of like panic Eldritch Blast the guy because it just kind of came out of nowhere
Yep.
rather than have anything particularly smart to do.
Very good. Yeah, he's got. There's no obscuring shit, and he's 70 feet away.
All right, and there's no token for him, so I'll just roll in the box.
Yeah.
There we go.
Bam. So you come across and you see him go, and he's getting ready to toss it, and then all of a sudden this green aura starts to portray up his body and sort of kind of paralyzes him for a split second, and you come across with the shotgun from downtown, nothing but net, and just fucking shoot him directly in the chest. And you can kind of see kind of like the T-1000 from fucking Terminator 2, a giant hole go through his chest right at the sternum that starts out small and arcs outwards in a cone, kind of like a shotgun energy blast. And it just, and he just goes, and then he falls to one knee and dies on the floor.
Oh yeah. Cool. I'm going to grab the grenade and quickly shove it into the fucking pipe.
All right. So, as he falls down and puts his hands onto the ground, his hand releases and the grenade starts to roll towards you. As it starts to roll towards you, it goes about 20 feet ahead of you. So, Jaladri are 1, 2, 3, 4 squares away. And through panic looked in his eyes, Pretty Bird has understood what has happened. And just for his reaction is going to fucking run this way and bum rush you. So I need you to make opposing strength checks.
Rushing me?
Yeah.
Automatically fail my strength check because I don't anticipate him as hostile.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so Pretty Bird just squawks at you as he's running towards you. He shoulder checks you, and you fly back 10 feet. And he's in between. He's in between you and the grenade, and boom, the grenade goes off, shattering the walls in a concussive blast. Jaladri, what you see in front of you as you're flying through the air is a very large fire-based explosive that engulfs Pretty Bird from sternum to shoulder, and you see him for a slight second disappear within the flame of the explosion as you get pushed back. I need you to make a reflex save, both of you.
Slow motion. No.
Oh, a dex save then, right?
Yeah. Okay, so Westra, you're completely fine because you're pretty far away. Your DC wasn't that hard to make. But Jaladri, so you're going to have to go ahead and add yourself 8 damage you get from the explosion. And it just kind of like, it's a mix between shrapnel from the explosion and you hitting your back on the engine with the propeller blade.
Oh god, why does everything hit me in the bag today?
And then you guys both notice that the dust is just everywhere in this room. Your guys' ears are ringing. You're currently deaf. And you guys don't know what the fuck is happening. And you're both in separate locations. Westra, what would you like to do?
Well, with how quick that all happened, Westra's going to just kind of get up, brush herself off, and make sure that she's okay.
You take a look down, you notice that there's a lot of shrapnel in the panel in front of you that is about waist high. And you notice that there are some scuff marks on your hooded cloak. But it looks to me like you didn't actually receive any of the ill effects of it except for being deaf from the explosion.
All right. And with that ascertained, then Westra's going to basically look around the room to see how everyone else fared, probably starting with the panicky mechanic behind us.
You look back and he looks directly at you and he just fucking darts in and he goes over to here. He doesn't really acknowledge you too much, but he's like, you as you watch him run, he runs with urgency. And when he gets,
knows he's got to fix this fucking thing.
And when you look at him, I need you to make a perception check.
Okay. Don't fail me now.
All right. As you look over, you can see him. His back is turned to you as he's looking at the machine, and you see a giant crater, basically where the engine used to be, in the triangle part right next to Jaladri, and you can tell that the engine is 100% fucked.
Oh, great.
So let's say you get to about here.
Okay.
So your ears ringing, Jaladri, you kind of come to and you're like, holy fuck, what happened? And I need you to make a perception check. Okay, as you look over, you see the body of the deceased choker just on the floor, all Gatsby, but you also see Pretty Bird lying face down on the ground on fire.
My God. This will do it. I can do this. So, show up. Okay. I'm putting out the flames on Pretty Bird.
Okay. Probably a good idea.
And then I'm going to heal him.
Okay, I see you used it, so I didn't mark his HP on there. So what ends up happening is whenever you put the fire out, you can actually see exposed bits of flesh where once feathers used to be. And you can kind of see that Pretty Bird was cooked pretty good. He failed 2 of his death saving throws. He was on his 3rd, and you fucking brought him back to 1 HP. He opens up his eyes and looks towards you, and you kind of see him give his head a shake. And then he just kind of lays there motionless with his eyes open. So he is currently stable.
Alright. Good.
Pretty Bird saved your life. He's going to get all the crackers now.
So it doesn't say. Can I use lesser restoration to give him back his feathers and shit? Work like that in this game?
I don't know. Leave that with me. I'm not 100% sure.
Let me know on that one. But right now, fuck off.
So you heal him another 6?
Yeah, anyways. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll say he is at 13 HP. No.
Jewelry friend.
No, he was 29 and his wounds are 16. Or 13. There we go. My bad. Alright, he's looking kind of healthy now. He kind of took a stand up and he's like slowly moving, kind of using his bow to lean on as he's looking around at the crater that's right next to you guys. And as you stand him up, both of your hearing starts to come back a little bit more, and you can kind of hear a very large ringing, but you can also hear the mechanical nature of the doodads behind you.
Nice.
Well, the engine's fucked.
Yeah, you guys look over and you can kind of see the mechanic is just screaming, like trying to rip cords out and patch stuff. You can see him, and he looks like he's failing miserably.
Okay. Does it feel like we're falling?
Nope. Everything seems to be currently okay.
Okay, that's a relief.
Well, that's good. Prit, how you feeling? Feeling better?
Crispy, I think. Pretty Bird. And he kind of like looks down towards his like waist and where all of his feathers are fucking missing.
Good bird.
And he just kind of just goes, "Oh, life saved from you. Thank you." And you just kind of see him.
Just give him the entire bag of crackers.
Oh, he just fucking gobbles. Like, I'm talking like porn star level pay-per-view style. Just
That's awesome. Alright, cool. I'm gonna go over to the mechanic and be like, yo, is there anything I can do to help you?
He goes, go to the panel. I'll call out what I need.
Hey,
I am 3 to 5 steps ahead
that's
of
the
you.
panel.
Okay.
I'm assuming I overheard that.
Oh yeah, and it's not initiative anymore. You do what you want. All right. So he screams out, "I need you to release the pressure on valve 4." And as you look at the screen, you can kind of see that on the left-hand panel is agricultural water pumps. In the middle is all the pipes. And on the right-hand side is the energy level of the power source within the engine, which you can see is completely gone. Like it's in the red.
Oh, shit.
Okay, that's bad.
I will follow his instructions as best I can.
Very good. So you go to the center panel and you realize that the pump locks are on for all 4 pumps that come into this room. But it seems that they're all damaged. Every single one of them. It's got kind of like a circle with a red lightning bolt on it to mean it's out of power.
Oh.
Probably those little fuckers crawling around the pipes.
It says it's out of power.
God damn it. The gods are against me today. There's nothing we can do. Best find Machiavelli and tell him what's happened. Come! And you can kind of just see him put his arm underneath Pretty Bird and they both exit the room together.
I can shoot it with lightning if that'll help.
Who, Pretty Bird?
We need the electricity stuff.
That's not how the engine works, though.
Well, I don't...
You can try it for sure if you want.
No, if the mechanic doesn't give me the go-ahead, I'm not doing it.
Okay, so as you guys proceed down the hallways, you start to notice back the way you came, a large mass of soldiers have started to accumulate there, all from the Tarl. They come in and they're like, what happened? What happened? And you actually see Machiavelli is standing down the hallway.
Go ahead, I'll explain to these guys. I seem to be the one that was in the center of a lot of it.
There you go.
I'll stay and explain to the soldiers while these guys get going and Pretty Bird can get healed up. Proper.
Gotcha. So let's say, for example, E-F-L-I-N-G. No, not Turfling. Fuck. We'll say that's Machiavelli. Bam. Okay, so you see the mechanic just kind of gives the wave off to you and he says, I'm going to take care of this one. And you can kind of see him carrying him off to like a couple of healers in the back end of the room. You got to see that there's a cleric along with a couple of paladins who seem to have teamed up with Machiavelli, and Machiavelli approaches you guys and be like, what the hell happened?
Short version, because the short version is boom, scratch, ouch, mushroom, boom, 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 scratch, damage. Hey, how's it going? Your engine's fucked.
So Machiavelli kind of takes a step between the two of you and looks in at the damage. He looks at the control panels and he'd be like, blast it. We also lost the munitions bay too. This is treason! Treason! Who could be responsible for this? I'll have their head.
Actually, you don't want their head. You want their neck. Saw some of those mind control drones. You're going to want to be checking your fucking boys from now on.
Goes, the duo drones, you say. He takes a step back. He puts his fingers to his chin and ponders and seems to recall nothing of any kind of reports from the surrounding areas. He turns back to you. He walks up to you and says, come, let us go to the control room. It's not safe to talk here. And he just starts to venture off. He kind of looks back, and Wester, he kind of locks eyes with you a little bit. And he just goes, glad to see you're safe, my lady. and kind of just continues off.
Before I leave, I'm just gonna look over at the soldiers and be like, if when you deal with the choker body, open it. Just don't open it. Just get rid of it.
You kind of see the paladin kind of look at you like a dog would if he doesn't understand the command. Like, what? And then he goes, okay, I get it. And he actually truly gets what you mean.
Finally.
He goes, he gives you the thumbs up, and he just quietly sneaks around, almost anime-ish, like he's trying to sneak without being seen. And he's just kind of taking... He's just walking in around you guys.
Perfect. And then, I'm going to go catch up.
Right on. All right. So, as you guys... so now what we'll do is we'll go over to... for role-playing purposes, we will go over to this next image.
I actually have a few minutes. I just need to use a bathroom.
Yeah, it'll take me a minute to set this up anyway.
All right.
Cool. I'll be right back.
Do you want to go for a smoke there, Jack, or anything?
I'll roll one up and get one into me since you told me to.
Yeah, give her.
All right, I'll be back in a moment.
Okay. I'll take that as a yes. All right, so as you guys follow through, all of the soldiers and shit start to leave the area and go into their appropriate locations. See a large faction of guards that are trying to occupy the bottom floor here. There's probably about 10 to 15 of them in separate different buildings. It's like high alert status now. Imagine this room is like the cockpit of the ship, okay?
Okay.
So you guys are all in there talking to Machiavelli. Machiavelli is just kind of sitting, pondering in his seat, trying to decide on what to do. And you guys are all together now, all 6 characters. So I will roleplay the ones that aren't here.
Okay.
So let's start with Jaladri. What do you think of this whole situation?
Where the fuck did you guys go?
Or you can kind of see just on the other side of the room, Ortholan starts spinning his painting stick. And he goes, "Art waits for no one, man." I saw a view outside of the ship, and you know, it brought a tear to my heart, and I had to encapsulate it.
Sounds legit.
Fine, but I want to see the picture later. Fair enough. Okay.
All right, so Jaladri, I need you to add into your inventory a custom item.
Okay.
And it's called Ortholan Sunset. And then when you have it in your inventory, I need you to roll a knowledge history. Okay, from what you can discern, you discern that this picture is worth around the 400 GP range.
Oh.
Wow.
Hey, it's not like Ortholan has any use for money.
So you open up this, so you unscroll this piece of paper and you see like the most beautiful sunset. And it's off of the, you can kind of see that on the foreground of the painting itself, it has a rail so you can actually see the airship part where Ortholan was standing. And it kind of goes off to this vast hilly area with slight mountain ranges off to the right-hand side. Really far away, it looks like you're several hundred miles, or like 20 or 30 miles away from it. And it kind of arcs up into a darkened area, and then it goes to another desert on the opposite side. But the curious thing that you see is above that mountain range, you can kind of see the hue of blue, and you don't recognize it.
Hmm. It's like, are you sure about this? Because I've seen this place and it didn't have any blue.
Says Ortholan kind of looks and just says, "Curious. I don't remember painting that." He kind of leans over and kind of whispers into Axel's ear. What do you suppose that is? Axel looks over and he says, "I don't know, man. I'm from the desert. I don't know any of this shit. This is bullshit. I'm level 1. He is currently level 1. He hasn't fucking played at all. That's funny.
Yep.
Anyways, Steve looks over and Steve, who is has been studying with you, Westra, he just goes, wasn't there some kind of didn't we learn about this at some point? Isn't this Peckermore? Is it Peckermore? I can't remember. So if you both will zoom out and go to the top left page, Westra, you remember the page he's talking about. And it's on the second one that I will send you.
Okay.
Images, recap 2. This is recap 2, recap 1. So a very vivid image comes to your face, and it's the top left one. So I'll read it out for everybody watching. 500 years after the dawn of Telmeria came the rockworm pandemic. At this time, Telmeria had to venture out for supplies and fresh water to sustain life at the level required of a large-scale civilization to survive. But a young dwarf named Tazuli, the forge master of the seer, came up with using echo lilies to extract black powder to move great sky cities over the locations, known as Packetmore. So it kind of rings a bell, and this comes to your mind. And you know it was devoid of life for good reason.
Oh,
There's fucking graboids.
yeah. S blasters too.
So you're let's just say your asshole puckers just a little bit.
Yeah, no, yeah, mine puckers like at least a medium amount.
So Westra, this comes to mind. You think it over, and you're like, "Holy shit!" I need you to roll an investigation check.
Can do. I'm good at those.
Orderland, you got some really fucked up dreams.
So, Westra, what you're able to remember and kind of discern from how mechanics work in this time is that the reason why this ship was used for its ability to fly high in the air, but you know for a fact that if this thing loses altitude for any reason before it hits that blue wall, is going to be a very bad thing.
Westra's going to take a minute to stop just glaring at Steve because, as far as she's concerned, this is all his fault. She's going to look over. She's just going to look over to Machiavelli and say, "We need to fix this ship."
So you see also through the side of the room, once that you never seen before, a shadowy figure appears from the wall. And you see it's a tabaxi with large fangs, and you notice it to be Nikolai. He steps forward and says, "This is foolish. We must get off this ship. There's so many things, so many creatures scurrying around. It's hard to tell who could be in control and who could not." And he just kind of looks towards the group, and he says, "I believe first things first." Nikolai turns his back to the group, lifts up his hairline to his neck, and shows that there's nothing there.
Fair enough. I'm gonna do the same.
Okay, so as Jaladri kind of opens
kneel
up,
down and show everyone.
Yeah, because you're pretty. You might be tanky, but you're also pretty tall, aren't you?
So I kneel down and push my head as forward as actually no, I pull my head all the way into my shell so you can only really see skin.
There you go.
Very good.
There's definitely nothing on that.
You can kind of see Axel flying around the room in quick darts left to right and to left and right, and he's trying to get like a spot on Ortholand's neck. He's looking, and Ortholand just kind of shoos him away, and you see just Ortholand pull down his collar, kind of like a Doctor Strange cloak around his chin, and he kind of pulls it down, and you can notice that his black and brown fur kind of recede into his shoulders, and you see there's nothing there.
Yeah. I look at Steve.
Steve just goes, "What?"
Wester just keeps staring at him.
He notices Westra's staring at him, and he just goes, "What the fuck?" And then he says, "What I miss?"
He'll look at the back of his head.
You don't see anything there.
I'm gonna look at Wester. He's fine.
Okay, Wester nods. Then because she's just, so done with this shit, she doesn't even move. She just mentally conjures her mage hand, uses it to remove her cloak, her hood for a sec, just kind of show yous, and then puts it back on and dissipates the mage hand.
Nice. And you see Machiavelli do it as well, and you can see that there's nothing on his neck. He says, "Friends, I know we've only known each other for a short time, but I feel like we've been through the ringer together.
Sorry.
I don't feel I have a control on this situation. Since we left, I've had a feeling of deception that has been coursing through, and I suspected you for quite a while. The two gentlemen in the bar, the officers, have been keeping a close eye on your transactions and travels throughout the airship, and I know you can be trusted. But the problem is this, and you kind of see him take a step away from the turner's wheel, and he kind of opens up a control panel on the side, and he kind of waves you over to have a look.
Wester will have a look. She's the smart one.
Very good. So you take a step over, and you can kind of see almost like a gimbal system, kind of like you'd see on a helicopter or a plane. And you can see that it's like a metal gyrating ball where half of it is white and half of it is black. And as he's like trying to take control of the machine, you can see it bob and weave up and down slightly. And he says, "This is the problem. We are losing altitude. There's not enough echo lilies getting from the engine rooms into the inside of the blimp to power our propulsion. We are slowly losing altitude." And from earlier, you know that it was about 20 or 30 miles away from the wall. And you can see that by the time you get to the wall, you're going to be halfway down the wall. So you don't know what's going to happen after that, but you know that's the direction the Zeppelin is taking.
All right. So we have to regain altitude somehow.
We need to transport echo lilies from the engine room to the... From what to the engine room?
Who are you asking?
Key Valley.
Is that what did you say? Sorry, you cut out there for me anyway.
Said, so if we just transported large amounts of echo lilies and black powder over to the engine room?
Says that would be an interesting start, but the echo lilies must be carefully rationed throughout the spots on the ship, and the only ones that are allocated are mixed with black powder. The only one that would know anything about that is Jeeves, the one that runs the Echo Lily lab.
Going to be one of his apprentices right now, so
yeah,
it shouldn't be too hard.
On the right-hand side of the console, also, Westra, you see kind of like a bar, a status bar that's vertical, and you can kind of see that what once was a solid green rectangle when you looked at the panel is slowly starting to turn yellow, and you can see it getting dangerously close to 1/3 the way down.
Oh.
And it kind of has a little graphic on the right-hand side of where the airship is versus the ground, and you can tell that this thing's going down pretty quick. But because it's such a large craft, you wouldn't really notice it from the inside.
Okay. Oh boy.
So you kind of see Ortholan and Nikolai step to the back of the room. They're having shallow conversation with each other, trying to come up with a plan on what to do.
Yeah.
Axel comes over here and starts chatting with Steve.
Yeah.
Mages on board?
Huh?
Mages on board?
We have several. Why?
If we reduced the size of the ship, it'd then be easier to make float.
I would assume, but it's hard for me to say. This is not my path to follow. The only thing I can really do is offer up soldiers. I don't know anything about this ship, to be honest. And he kind of has a little bit of a nervous giggle. He's like, yeah, I actually don't know a lot about this place, but maybe there's somebody who would. And then he kind of takes a step forward off of his throne and just off of the captain's seat and screams at one of the attendees to run and go get somebody from the Echo Lab.
Oh yeah, Jeeves.
Grabbing the mechanic. Grabbing that mechanic too. Because if my hypothesis is correct, the only thing I can understand that would run off of black powder and fucking ants would be something organic. If we reduce the size of the ship or enlarge the size of the engines, it should help.
just give me 1 second here. Says it's very difficult to ascertain magic of that power. Most of us are just, sneaky people and people with big boomsticks. It's hard to say what kind of magic. We have a few, mostly healers. But I'm hoping, I'm basically hoping that Max Priory might be able to answer some questions, and he should be here momentarily.
Well, gonna wait patiently for dude to get here.
There you go. All right, so as you guys are chilling out trying to come up with the plan, if you guys would all like to take a look at the top left picture of this still. This is the gentleman that shows up. Nerd Boy McGee in the armor.
Nice.
He steps into the room and Machiavelli stands up and walks across the room and they grab each other by the wrists with a sign of respect. Everybody roll a perception check. Ba-ba. Right. Need yours there, Jaladri.
I thought I did
What
it,
do you
but it dropped it onto
perceive?
them.
There we go. All right, so Jaladri, you're able to notice that this guy's wearing basically a mix between heavy plate and leather. So it's kind of like mixed. He's got like a leather suit on, and on top of it are pieces of plate that seem to be fashioned in a very elegant way. You also notice that he's wearing a double set of monocles, something you haven't seen very often before. And he has kind of like damage on his brow right above his left eye. It seems to be an old wound. And Westra, you're able to notice a sigil on this guy's back, and he is highest ranked of the Tarl. And he kind of steps forward into the room, and you can kind of see all of the little minions kind of give him a little nod and bow, and he steps forth into the room and kind of gives Machiavelli a hug. It's like, yo, dude, what's up, Holmes? Yeah, West Side.
Yep.
Perceive if he's got anything on his neck without asking.
Oh, you can clearly see it. Like, there's nothing popping up from behind the back part of his armor. You notice that the armor on him seems pretty light on the back compared to the front.
Very cool.
So he says, Machiavelli, my friend, how are you? And he's like, rough times, Max, rough times. We're going down, and I don't think there's anything we can do to stop it. I've fetched for my aides and magical consorts to have a meeting to see if we can figure out a way to fix this, but I fear it might be too late. It looks like we could be crashing within maybe a couple of hours. Do you have anything? You're the brains of this operation. Do you have any suggestions? And he goes, well, let me see. You can kind of see that this guy is a very huge bookworm. Like, this guy's all about the knowledge. He doesn't seem like he would be very strong in a fight, but he's a very strong-willed component. And I need you guys to roll insight checks.
Boom.
Bam. All right, so Jaladri, you're able to discern that this guy is very confident in himself. He doesn't leave much to chance, and he's a very intelligent person. Wester, you're able to discern that this guy is probably something to do with the highest strategic values of Talmeria. This guy, if there was a war, this guy would be leading the army.
Gotcha.
So he steps forth and he starts looking around the new boy, Max Priory, starts looking around the room and he's eyeballing everybody and he says, weird consortium. This is very nerve-wracking. Who are these people? And he kind of looks around and Machiavelli says, forget it. They're here to help us. Just tell me something I need to know, you fool. And he starts hyperventilating. He's starting to panic. Jaladri, Westra, you're also able to see that the on the panel it went from 1/3 gone to about 1/8 or 1/4 gone. So you're starting to see it's starting to be snap time. You probably got about another hour or so before this thing crashes.
Western just kind of buries her head in her palm, just kind of thinking to herself, why?
We're all gonna die. This is gonna suck.
Yeah.
Night. Let's try to make this long story short. We are a collection of big animals that have given sentience and somehow fucking managed to get here. Okay? We're trying to save this ship. Not just because we're on it, but because we also value life. So, any ideas? Let's go snappity snap. Look at this little meter here. It's moving a lot. I don't know what that means, but Westra's getting really nervous. And I don't like that. So,
You take
what
a
do you
look.
got?
You take a look over to your left, and Ortholan steps forward. Says, "Well, perhaps we should find a way off the ship. It seems like a lost cause." Nikolai steps forward and says, "I believe we should stay here and fight. We can't let these mongrels get away with it." Axel steps forward and says, "I don't really care, just as long as we all survive." Steve says, "I want to shoot stuff." So that's the team's idea.
Nice.
I can
Ortholan, the only voice
appreciate all of these things.
And 100% you know that they would say some
Ortholan.
shit like that.
Yeah.
So, like, here's the problem. We can't jump ship. This is rockworm territory. And we will get fucked up hard. And we can't. So.
So Axel takes
how
a
fast can we
step.
build hovercrafts out of this thing?
You're kind of thinking about it and you're like, it would take some time, but it could be possible with some of the technology that's over at the Echo Lab mixed with maybe something from the Forge. You might be able to craft something.
Play how many people are on the ship?
Close to 5,000.
It would have to be a damn big hovercraft.
Yep.
You can kind of see Machiavelli kind of steps forward and he's like, "Well, I hoped it wouldn't come to this, but most of the top half of the cabin would be able to escape on the lifeboats that are attached to the back end of the ship. Most of the ones that were down near here were destroyed whenever the engine blew. Max, is the flagship still available?" And he goes, "Yes." And then he needs us all to roll history checks.
Another thing that might happen, if we lose all that weight, it'll fly a little longer. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. All right, so Westra, you start to feel like you've seen this guy before.
Okay.
Your mind goes back to one of the first couple of sessions, and you're like, I know this guy from somewhere. And you recognize him to be the man giving the speech on episode 1 that took off ahead of everyone else.
Oh, yes. Wait. How is he here then?
Your mind starts to crumble under the weight of your own words, and you kind of wonder,
Steve, close the door.
something ain't
Steve,
right.
guard the door. Steve, guard the doors.
Steve kind of goes, what? And he just kind of takes a step back. And then you kind of see Haas and Pfeffer step back. And people just start blocking all the exits.
I am going to throw caution to the wind. And I am going to charm person this motherfucker.
Okay. What is
Give
your
me any
DC?
indication?
Just tell me what the DC is.
Wisdom
DC 14. Okay. It fails the save, and you see Max Priory just start to look around like almost like he's on the Confundus charm from fucking Harry Potter. He's just walking around like a blithering idiot. He's like, what? So he looks over towards you and smiles real goofily. Hey, baby. Nice legs.
Oh, hey, handsome.
So he kind of takes a step towards you.
Could you do me a small favor?
Sure.
Could you show me your real form right quick?
As you ask it, you kind of see that its shoes start to change form. Goes from a heavy set of boots to a large silver ichor that seems to coat the floor, and you see this thing change into the creature that was in the engine room.
Yeah, we finally caught the fucking changeling. Yes.
So everybody is just like, what the fuck? And Machiavelli's like, no.
Grab him.
All right.
Put hands on this fucker.
Okay, so you just see fucking Doggy Pile McGee's coming from the back lot and just fucking rock bottoming, and this fucking changeling on the ground. This turtle just belly flops on top of it. And as you come down, you don't feel any mass restriction between your chest and the floor. It's almost like you're jumping on a waterbed as you land on this guy. And you just see squish marks just go in every fucking direction. It's a horrible thing to behold.
I think you killed it, Jaladri.
Scooping it back up into a bowl.
Yep, so you have several flasks, so why don't you put a flask of changeling blood?
So, it was a changeling.
Yes. This one was slightly different looking with different colored hair.
I got it this time.
Yeah, I'm really surprised you caught on that quick. I was trying to be stealthful about it. Because I knew you guys would be looking for the thing in his neck, so I was like, but I wonder if the... And then Wester's like, I'm gonna tell this guy he's a fuckhole. Love me. And I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
Alright, he's onto it. He's onto it.
Yeah. I would not have gotten it without that big history check that I rolled, though.
Yeah.
That was the clue I needed.
Yeah, so it's like there's 3 different pieces of information that would have fingered him, because not only is Max Priory the leader of the Tarl, that's the one that Ezri usurped. So yeah. Ezri took over, didn't exile him, but basically while he was gone, took over and ran amok in Telmeria. So Machiavelli runs forward and says, but he wasn't Max? I've been speaking to him on a constant basis. Christ, nothing can be kept sacred in this world no more. I need everybody to roll perception checks. All right, so you can kind of see, both of you are able to see pretty much everything. So on the sides of this, so in the cockpit area, he's up on a pedestal driving where the glass is, and there's a staircase that goes up to it. He turns around and he says, my God. And he says, look at this. And he kind of ushers you up the stairs.
All right.
So
are we looking at?
So as you guys look up, you can kind of see, you can visibly see that the ship is starting to descend at a much quicker rate now. And as you look out, you can actually see kind of like, imagine a giant sand pit that butts up against a large cliff face. And on top of that clip face, on the top layer, is a giant blue wall that goes straight up into the air. And you can kind of see engravings along the sides of it in different runic letters.
I'd like it if we were going up instead of down.
He goes, but this is the fun part. And you see him put his palm on a handprint locator on the side of the machine. And he goes, Maralu, Maralu. And as his fingers start to light up in blue, you can actually see that the wall is starting to vibrate a little bit, and a small hole opens up and starts to get bigger and bigger in the wall, in the blue force field. Says we might actually make it after all. So you guys are about, I want to say about 10 minutes away from it.
Okay. We might make it. That's nice.
Orland, Steve, Axel, each one of you, go to the Echo Lab, grab some lilies. Westra, come with me. We need black powder.
Okay.
Very good.
On the way out the door, just in case they're having trouble with it, I'm going to where is it? Yeah, I have 2 Echo Lilies on me. I'm gonna give them to Ortolan and say, use these if you have to, and don't let Steve take them.
Awesome. So I will let you know if you guys combine all of your Echo Lilies, like your personal Echo Lilies, it should be enough to power the engine. I will tell you that.
I'm totally cool with making that sacrifice. Easily.
2, done.
Okay, and as you guys are running it...
Sacrifice for everyone else that's not here.
Alright, so you guys know that Machiavelli screams out, and if you're looking for black powder, it's over in the forge.
Let's grab some black powder. Fucking wham bam this shit together.
Alright, so several minutes go by as you guys are traveling over to the known location. I'm not going to move any tokens, so we'll just act like we're still looking in here. But Jaladri, you kind of like bum rush the door as quick as you can, followed by everyone else, and Machiavelli has joined the rush as well. You can kind of see the dwarfs in the forge just kind of freak out a little bit because they're not used to having like the main head honcho here. And they go, "Sir, what can we avail you for?" And Machiavelli says, "Black powder, you fool! We need all of it, all of it!" And he starts to scream, and you can kind of see 2 of the other little smaller young dwarf children run into the back and start dragging out this giant chest. And you can kind of see that it's more metallic than wood, and it has engravings that go around the sides of it. This looks to be a very magical entity, and I'll have you both roll arcane checks.
Woohoo. Aw.
All right. So, Westra, you're able to discern that this box is meant for holding very dangerous items. You recognize the markings along the side to be a magic spell, although you don't know which one it is. Jaladri, you're able to see that the bottom half of this chest is actually made out of solid granite, which is very weird for a chest of any sorts. And you're able to discern that inside is a large quantity of black powder.
Perfect. That it's just what we need.
Okay, so it'll take 2 of you guys to cart it around. Where would you like to take it?
Well, it's going to be Steve and Jaladri. They're the big ones.
Okay, so Steve and Jaladri both hold this bitch, and everybody's frantic at this point. As you guys exit the forge, you look down and you can actually see the ground is much closer than it was previously. Like, it's getting crunch time.
To the Echo Lab!
Okay, as you guys run across the bridge, you guys actually run into the mechanic who's met you halfway.
Follow us.
He's like, "What? What are we doing? I don't understand. They told me to find you as quickly as possible. I'm losing my
We
mind."
need to make this shit into fuel.
Okay, I'm coming! And he just starts running next to you. That was great. And you guys get into the Echo Lab, and you can kind of see that some of the scientists have started working on it already. And they go, come, come, come. And you can see like a group of about 10 or 15 people, all the people that weren't involved in the murder before, Jack. You remember the murder that happened in here?
Yeah.
So, you notice that they're all back to work. The place is cleaned up. There's a new person heading the bin, and she's like barking orders left and right. You can kind of see them all grabbing the chest. You can see the head man, Machiavelli, walk into the room. He waves his hand over the lock of the chest, and it opens, and he starts handing out what seem to be brittle pails of just black dust. On the other side, you see the master of the Echo Lab taking out the Echo Lilies and slowly crushing them into a mortar and pestle as he's kind of feeding them into beakers, and you can see them all drip down, and he goes, to the end of it, this should only take a moment. You guys look behind you, and over the edge, you can see that you're actually starting to hear the whooshing of the ground getting closer to the bottom of this machine.
Wait.
Mechanic Max, which is the best engine we have left?
He says, well, it's probably engine number 1. The turbine's been pristine since we left.
Okay, cool. That's going to get the most fuel.
A quick way. The service elevator on the far end of the compound. We can make it there quickly. And as you take a look back, you notice that the chemist tweaks one final little bolt on the side of a mortar and pestle, and the side of all of the potions that are burning, and you can see a single drop of glowing essence land into a vial. And it's got an aura of blue, but also of black. And he puts a cap on it and says, go! And you're like, that's it? It's a tiny drop at the bottom of a vial.
Fine, grab it. Just grab it.
Okay?
Just grab it.
Okay, and you guys tear the fuck out of here. And you guys manage to make it to the service elevator at the back. You're actually starting to see... I need everybody to make a reflex check.
So like a...
Deck save, yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so Geladri, fucking the bottom part of this entire area just barely clips the top of a sand dune. And just continues going. You're kind of knocked off balance, but you save. Wester, you're able to hold on to the wall to prevent yourself from falling over, but you look behind you and you see Ortholan kind of took a hard hit, and he's kind of leading up and he's saying, go on without me, go on without me.
Well, I'm in the best shape, so I'm just gonna kind of just, boot fucking run as quick as I can and just like in full stride, just like grab the vial from whoever has it, since I'm the only one on my feet proper.
Nice. So you, Geladri, the mechanic, and Machiavelli make it to the elevator. They hit the button as quickly as you can, and as you start to go up, another shockwave hits you. You guys are braced on the interior of it, but you kind of feel it, and you're like, holy shit, that was really close. Bang, and second sand dune hits the side, and you're starting to really panic as you guys open up the doors into into this first engine room. So through the engine room, you guys are able to see. I don't have a map for it, unfortunately, but because this whole section is improvised. So as you guys are running through, you guys end up getting down into the down and dirties. Geladri and Westry, you both go left and right to protect the room as you see the Machiavelli and the engineer, who says, give it here to Geladri. He's waving for you to throw the potion at him.
Throw the potion to him, and then immediately start popping spores out of me.
Yeah, agreed. So as you do that, you can kind of see him like, have you ever seen somebody play Flash Revolution at really high difficulty speed? And he's just zooming on that keyboard, and all of a sudden you kind of start to hear, like hisses and splashes of different machinery that are starting to turn on and off. You see a couple of valves above the panel move. You can kind of see computer screens start to turn on. He walks over to the center of the panel in the middle of the room, and he presses down on these two buttons. One has the handprint on it, the other has a 4-button combination. You see Machiavelli put his hand down on the terminal, and the other guy punch in some kind of a code, and this small cylindrical docking station opens up from the center of the panel. You see the engineer pop the cork and put it in, and they both jam on the panel again, and it starts to recede. I need everybody to make perception checks. Okay, Westra, you're able to notice that there's no windows in this room, but you actually are starting to hear the reverberations of the engines on the surface below. So you can actually start to hear echoes of what's going on outside. There's people rushing around. There's people like abandoning ship. You actually can hear the lifeboats lifting off from a couple of stories above you, and you hear probably about 7 or 8 different ones just shoot off all at the same time, and you know for a fact they're heading for the hole in the wall.
I hope they make it.
Okay, and yeah. Jaladri, you end up discerning that you can kind of feel underneath the weight of your feet that something is weird, and you can kind of feel through the bulkheads from your hands and feet that the ship is actually starting to rise.
We're gonna make it, boys.
So this is like real Indiana Jones shit, by the way.
Yeah.
Or the Mummy,
Yeah,
I guess.
Tell your crew to start dropping anything we don't need.
Says it might be kind of difficult, but I'll try. And you see Machiavelli leave the engine room and head back towards the elevator. He's like, "Are you coming?"
Where's the mechanic? I'm gonna go cut off that engine that doesn't work.
You walk over to, you can still see him. He's violently pressing his coccyx against fucking buttons in a mad speed to try to get things done all at once. He kind of says, "Check the status panel to the right for me."
I checked the status panel on the right then.
So you can kind of see that it shows a picture on the panel that engine 4, which was where you guys were, is completely, the one engine on the right-hand side is completely jazzed. There's absolutely nothing you can do with it. The one on the far left is engine 1 where you guys are, and it seems to have a blue insignia, meaning everything's okay, everything's kosher. The 2 middle ones, there's 4 in total, number 2 and 3, both seem to be yellow with an analyze button underneath.
Yes.
Well,
These analyze?
do the anal lies.
Analyze the buttons.
No, like analyze on the screen underneath the pictures of 2 and 3.
Oh. Oh, it says analyze 2 and 3.
Okay. So, sorry, I felt a coughing spree coming. I had to wait for it to go away. Okay. He says, hit the red button, see what it says. And you notice that down along the right-hand part of the computer keyboard, there's 2 reds, a green, and a yellow button.
I hit the red button.
Okay, which one do you want to look at, 2 or 3? Hello?
Right?
Number 2.
Number 2.
Yeah.
Okay, I hear you now. Okay, yeah, we lost you for a second. So number 2, as you jam your fist down, you kind of like hit it with so much gusto that it almost knocks the key off of the keyboard. But it shows up, and then it shows you a picture of the engine in kind of like DOS format. And on the bottom of it, it says activate, reinitialize, deactivate, and overdrive. You see one of those 3 options.
Okay. Tell him that and ask him what to do.
He looks back at you and says, put engine number 3 on overdrive and deactivate the third one.
What? Number 3 on overdrive and then deactivate it?
Yes. Don't argue with
Hey.
me. Just do it.
Hey, I do it.
Okay, as you hit the engine, you can or right before you start to hit the button, you can feel the level of the ship drop on a 45 to the right, and you can start to see things on the floor starting to roll in that direction. And as you slam down on the button, you notice that the secondary engine shuts off and the whole thing levels out. It's not raising up anymore, but as you hit the overdrive of the second one, you kind of see the front end of it start to pull up.
So we stabilized it.
Yeah, you stabilized it and it increased the angle vertically of how you're traveling. Says, this is all I can do.
If they're not here and they can't say no. Steve, Nikolai, go down to the engine room number 4 and knock that fucker off.
Sorry? What do you want them to do?
Knock off the useless engine so we can lose its weight.
Oh, just so you know, the engine itself is probably about the size of a small football field.
Oh.
Yeah, you guys were just in the carbine room. Like the part where the tip of the engine is.
I was envisioning like an airship, kind of like turbines on the outside.
Yeah, so imagine like
this fucker's like a floating city almost. Basically, it's huge.
Yeah, like it would take 16 brontosauruses stacked on each other to get from the bottom to the top.
Okay.
This thing is massive.
In that case, who's got miracles like they've been saving for a rainy day?
You kind of see Steve raise his hand and he starts to chew on a bag of chips he found.
Wester's had enough with this shit. She's just going to the bar and just wait for whatever happens to happen.
Right on. So the mechanic kind of ushers you guys forward. And he's like, there's nothing else we can do here. I'm just going to try to make it for one of the escape pods. You guys do what you want. I'm over this. And Machiavelli says, I'm going back to the control room. I have to make sure that this thing steers in the right direction. Follow me if you wish, or exit. It's completely up to yourself. And you see them both disappear into the elevator waiting for you to join them.
I'm not getting on no escape pod. There's fucking graboids down there. I'm taking my chances with the ship.
And what about you, Bri?
Westra. We all get to the top part of the ship, so when this thing actually clips the ground, it launches us towards the wall.
I like the idea of going to the bar and just drinking wine and hope that we survive better.
All right, so you also see Nikolai and Ortherland are like, well, I think it's probably a good idea we just meditate on what happened. So Nikolai is going to go spend the rest of his time in the library, and he's just going to make peace with his own death. Ortherland is going to join him. Steve is going to go over to the forge and start crafting weapons until doomsday. Axel Barton is going to go get himself laid at the club. And it's completely up to you guys what you guys want to do. So you said you wanted to go drink at the bar?
Oh yeah, Wester is just so over this. It's long time for her.
All right, so describe, so the chaos around you as you're walking across the catwalks is you can kind of see parts of the airship are starting to fall and land in the sand beneath the airship, quite violently with puffs of sand. The sand doesn't reach the bottom of the Zeppelin by any means, but you can kind of see there like little grenades going off below you. You seem completely uninterested. What is an internal monologue you'd be having with yourself as you're walking over?
So Wester's just like basically oblivious to the world around her at this point. She's just thinking to herself, Yep. Just another week there. Got up, hired to do a job, Turned out to be the worst job ever. Now I'm probably going to die. Or not.
It's like
And
a
I'm probably some horrible snake thing. I just don't care anymore. I'm just gonna drink some wine and take a nap.
So Westra kind of puts her hand on Jaladri's shoulder and kind of says, like, listen, man, I just gotta go. And so Jaladri, you see Westra just kind of disappear depressively through the door and starts to walk out. As you get into the bar there, Westra, you're able to notice that there's nobody in the bar, but you see two soldiers who are kind of in the same mindset you are, that are drinking from the mouth of the kegs. Like they're just over it too. All right, Jaladri, what are you up to? What would you like to do? So you've kind of seen everybody just kind of gave up. So now it's all on you. So you can either stay where you are, go to a certain location, or follow Machiavelli. It's up to you.
Following Machiavelli.
Okay. So the two of you are rushing up to try to see if they can save it. Everybody else is despair. So kind of like seeing a nuke fly above your head that's going to hit the ground 30 feet in front of you. The rest of the crew is just kind of like depressingly staring off into the abyss, waiting for the inevitable end. When Machiavelli kicks in the door of the control room, he mans the wheel and asks you to set yourself set yourself on the control panel to the right. Guide me, I said. And you see him grab along the rails and he starts to pull up as hard as he can. Initiate the final descent protocol. And you're looking at the panel, and there's two screens, one on the left, one on the right. One is environmental controls and one is landing gears.
I'm gonna hit buttons on the landing gears.
Okay, so you look over to the panel that has landing gears and you see that most of the bottom of the ship was damaged hitting the sand dunes, and you see that there's only 2 or 3 of them left that are working out of hundreds. You say that, and it's something like in your head is telling you this is going to be rough.
Go. I flip every one that'll work, and then after that, I start flipping the ones that don't work too, just in case.
It's kind of like Michelangelo in the Batman cartoon. He's just, I'm hitting every button.
Yes, exactly that.
Yeah, I'm having an amazing time. So as you're hitting it, Jaladri, you look up and you notice that all of the red lights and the alarms that were going off finally turn off. And the entire ship coerces itself into a flat level flying speed that seems to be driving directly where you want to go. But you take a look over and you see a black line on the gimbal that you didn't notice before. And at the end of the gimbal, there's a little icon of what seems to be like a square with 4 claws on it. You can't really discern what it is, but it seems to be the ship seems to be a little bit below it.
Oh no, we're within range of the rockworms.
As you look up, you hear a crash and a smash, and you are presented with this. Bam. I don't think you got that. Yeah, there you go. Bam. Through the cabin, you're able to spot several large entities crashing out of the ground. They seem to be within range of the engines. One crashes so hard that it takes the entire tailpiece off of the Zeppelin itself. And you can see that the other one is fighting the smaller ships that's guiding it. As the ship starts to go down, you guys are thrown back and forth violently within the cabins from where you came from. Westra, you notice that the walls are starting to crack and buckle. You're kind of giving yourself your last ornate kneel and your last testament to God. And you're just kind of just said, I'm ready. Axel is too busy railing some chick. The whole fucking room is turning upside down, and he's just continuing business. He don't give no fucks. Nikolai and Ortholan are combined in group meditation, praying to their gods as their room slowly starts to darken and then crumbles in a left-hand rotation. And as the second rockworm takes off the tail of the Zeppelin, you start to trajectory down 35 degrees in a smoky billow of fire. And you guys, or like Jaladri, you're looking out this window and you're seeing your seconds away from this blue circle, and you sort of start to pass through the circle, but the bottom half of the Zeppelin gets jammed on the blue wall that is slowly opening for the ship, and it takes off pretty much the entire bottom half of the Zeppelin as you crash forward. And this is where you all fade to black.
Just before we do that, I'm gonna lurch forward and like pin Machiavelli to the control piece.
Gotcha.
Doesn't get flung. But okay, fade to black after that.
Fade to black. So now you guys are not your characters, you're seeing a cutscene. Okay?
Alright.
So as as the ship starts to bellow downwards, you can kind of see piece upon piece of this thing crashes and destroys off of the edge. You can see the bottom half of the Zeppelin made it through, but is now a giant wreck right up against the wall. You can see the middle half of the Zeppelin hit the ground first, and this is what you see.
Damn, son.
So a shadowy figure hides upon the sand dune. You can't tell if it's friendly or foe, but it seems to spot you with these looking glasses, and that's all you know. So that is the short form of what is going to happen. So we can, here's what's going to happen. So this is where we can end it, or we can keep going. And this is as far as I needed to get to add Ginger into the campaign.
Cool.
So if you guys want to keep playing, I'm more definitely down to. I can role play some other stuff. We can reverse it and have you guys just in the main hub area where you guys can go do shit, or we can call it, or I can have somehow come up with something that'll pick it up where we left off.
Actually, good calling it there. That was a really good ending.
I think we kind of have to leave it here now. We have to let the suspense build.
You're goddamn right. So what do you guys think? I think that was... I've been holding on to that for months, just so you know.
Yeah.
Can you do me a favor?
Yeah, what's up?
Like Discord sent me the sandworm attack.
Oh, the image itself?
Or like, can you send it to me over Messenger or something?
I think so, yeah.
I want that for my background on I want that for the background of my computer.
Oh, sweet.
Because that looks fucking badass, man.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, if I didn't go help everybody, I was just going to, like, retract all of my limbs in my head and just, like hope for the best.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and end the live stream there, guys. Thanks for watching. If you guys are watching this on YouTube in the second fact, we'll be picking this up where it left off when we get a good group of players going. Whether or not that's going to be in the second half of January, I don't know, but we'll be continuing with the cast B and C pretty short after. There's going to be a 1 to 1.5 week hiatus in the middle of January where I'm going to be gone. Gotta go get dentistry work done. It's going to be a 3 or 4 day ordeal. I can feel it. So once I'm done of that and recouped from that is when I'm going to be starting D&Ding the Graceful Saloon and re-participating in the Caspian Sea. So thanks so much for watching. Thanks.